I don't understand this, but it's interesting. All right, back again to catch up on the newest Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City, that came out early this year. This definitely feels like the wildest swing Wes Anderson has done in a long time. Kind of breaking away from the more comfortable films that he's made recently to something that is still very much in his wheelhouse, but definitely takes some much more wild swings in terms of presentation and storytelling in a way that is difficult to parse out. This is one of those movies where I definitely feel like it has something to say, even though if I'm not entirely sure what it is. Because the entire movie is framed as a play within a play, where it starts off with, fucking Heisenberg, Bryan Cranston, doing this narration about the creation of Asteroid City, the play. And has a playwright, played by Edward Norton, who plays a playwright named Conrad Earp, before eventually transitioning to play itself, and that's where it kind of produces more color. That's where Jason Schwartzman kind of comes in, and you have the actual plot of the movie, which involves the titular city of Asteroid City, and Jason Schwartzman plays Augie, who is this man whose wife recently passed away and runs into car trouble near this kind of middle of nowhere town. As he's there with his 3 kids, and he's not very good at being a father, and his father-in-law is Tom Hanks, who also has to come and save him, drops by to pick him up at some point and gets kind of caught in the events of Asteroid City, which I'm reluctant to spoil, because I do think this movie you should check out, especially if you're a Wes Anderson fan. And I think it's a good reminder of why Wes Anderson is as well regarded as he is. Because he's not just a lazy filmmaker that's lying on his style and using that as a crutch. He's still trying to do new things with it. He's still experimenting. He's still trying out new things in his very distinct style. And while this is a short romp, it takes only an hour and a half, it is very interesting to see how that develops. And there is definitely a lot of very trippy, weird imagery and sequence work that does open itself to speculation in a lot of interesting ways. A lot of fun cameos, a lot of fun writing. I've always loved Wes Anderson's set design in particular. I think I've called it before, like live action Looney Tunes, and I still pretty much stand by that. Although this one's a bit more morose, I feel like, than some was. Is morose the right word? Melancholy than its other entries. There's a bit more almost like self-reflection in the work somehow. It would not surprise me if this was partially self-insert, but I don't want to say for certain on that point. What I do know is that it is a movie that has stuck with me. I watched it like a month ago, and it's. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still trying to dissect it a little bit. I'm sure it's probably not the deepest thing in the world. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. You decide. I just know that I've seen a lot of Wes Anderson's films over the last several years, and I know this is one I can definitely tell he was trying something different. This feels more personal somehow. This feels more deconstructive in some way. I can't fully explain how. I'm sure smarter people than I have done so. I'm sure you can find analysis of it online in plenty of places. I'm not that smart. I just know I looked at this and go, this is trying to say something. And I'm sure if I had more time in the day and I rewatched it again, I'd probably come up with a lot of fun theories, but I just do not have the time to do that anymore. So, all I will say is Asteroid City is a unique romp of Wes Anderson's body compared to other Wes Anderson's body work, and I do think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of that style and if you want something a bit more to chew on. I still think Grand Budapest Hotel is still his best film to date, at least some of the ones I've seen. But if you just want something like if you like Wes Anderson films or any of his work, or just find want something a bit more interesting than the current mainstream, then I recommend this one. It's interesting. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it. On to the next movie.